He obviously saw the guns working in Skyfall, and then the car itself gets destroyed. Spectre gets rebuilt, but we don't know what's inside it at the end of Spectre. We just know they're heading off in the sunset with it. So we kind of had carte blanche to sort of reimagine what's in the car and what it could do, and to try to do it tastefully. Obviously, we want it to fit within the narrative and the emotional story we're telling at the beginning of the film, and not feel like suddenly we're veering into sci-fi gadget world, but also have a little bit of fun with it too. So there's a few new surprises in there. Costume and production design, they're not two separate elements. They're all on screen together, and Sudarat, brought so much knowledge and expertise with her team, but also just sort of tireless passion, trying to find the right clothing for characters we've seen many times before, but still make that little difference in there. But also for the new characters and the sort of the larger masses of soldiers and bad guys and villains, to give them a look that felt fresh and new. I liked the idea of a villain who, when they look at themselves in the mirror, doesn't see them as a villain, doesn't see themselves as a villain. They see themselves as a savior, as someone who could lead humanity into its next phase. And I thought Rami, with all his complexity and his intelligence, and you can see that intelligence in his face and his eyes and the way he thinks, it's there. And he was the perfect person to sort of take those ideas for that character and run with it. So those were our initial conversations, and we had a sort of dialogue going back and forth, and as the character sort of came to be what it was, he was a part of that the whole way. I'm very excited with it. Léa Seydoux is also an amazing actress, and an actress that I've wanted to work with for a while. I think she's incredibly fascinating to watch on screen. The internal life is really strong. And so in this film, I wanted to give that a chance to breathe. I wanted to see her in all her layers, be firing at once. And part of that was bringing in some of her backstory, bringing in a sense of understanding, for the audience at least, of who she is and why she's become that person. He is my favorite iteration of Bond, and I think it's because of the complexity he's brought to the character, and the vulnerability, and the sort of the brutal sort of potential for violence. I think it's an interesting combination there, and to be able to take those skills and apply them now now he has wisdom, right? He has all this experience he's brought in over the last 15 years of doing these films, not only on the filmmaking side, but also on the character side. And there's a lot to play with there in terms of how interesting and how multifaceted of a character he is now.